The threat Godzilla and other monsters like him represented to human civilization was unprecedented. To respond, an equally exceptional organization was needed, one that could bring together the most brilliant minds on Earth and formulate a defense for all mankind. When a battle between Godzilla and Mecha King Ghidorah added Tokyo to a long list of cities destroyed by kaiju, the world finally acted. The United Nations Godzilla Countermeasures Center was formed. Its first line of defense was G-Force. While officially an international organization acting under the authority of the UN, G-Force was nevertheless principally a joint American and Japanese task force. This was owed to these countries' disproportionate experience in dealing with kaiju attacks. As these attacks became more global in scope, other countries, notably those on the UN Security Council, would also devote more resources and personnel to the Godzilla Countermeasures Center. Empowered with this kind of support, G-Force was able to overrule any local government and act with near-complete autonomy and authority. As part of the organization's unique mandate, it also employed cutting-edge science, most notably the psychic Miki Saigusa. In time, she would lead a psychic branch of the UNGCC, which served alongside G-Force, attempting to control, rather than destroy, Godzilla. Under the leadership of Takaaki Aso, a former colonel in the Japanese Self-Defense Forces, G-Force quickly established a headquarters alongside the UNGCC in Tsukuba, Japan. One of its first directives was to salvage the remains of Mecha King Ghidorah, a genetically modified cyborg from the future, and reverse engineer its advanced technology. It was hoped that Futurian technology could supplement the anti-Godzilla combat machine known as Garuda, the latest in a line of flying battleships that had begun with the legendary Super X series under the JSDF. The result of this program was the anti-Godzilla superweapon, the UX-0293, famously known as MechaGodzilla. Armed with an impressive array of weaponry that included laser cannons, shock anchors, paralyzer missiles, plasma grenades, and the highly advanced G-Crusher, MechaGodzilla was able to effectively battle Godzilla during their first engagement. However, even its hyper-advanced NT1 diamond coating, the same armor used in the Super X2's fire mirror, proved vulnerable to Godzilla's atomic breath. Repaired, rearmed, and extensively upgraded, MechaGodzilla was combined with the abandoned Garuda project to form Super MechaGodzilla. This new machine was able to decisively defeat Fire Rodan and fight Godzilla on equal terms. In their second engagement, Super MechaGodzilla proved far superior to its predecessor, equaling the power of Godzilla's own atomic fire and then utilizing the G-Crusher to destroy the monster's secondary brain. With the primary source of its unique regenerative properties destroyed, Super MechaGodzilla was poised to triumph. However, in its dying act, Fire Rodan transferred its life energy to the mortally wounded Godzilla. With the natural atomic reactor in Godzilla's core empowered exponentially, the heat radiating off the monster alone proved capable of melting Super MechaGodzilla's armor. In a display of unparalleled power, Godzilla was able to emit a spiral heat ray beam that completely shattered Super MechaGodzilla's defenses. With the failure of MechaGodzilla, G-Force again recovered its base components and used them to build a new anti-Godzilla superweapon. With notable assistance from the Russian Federation, the Mobile Operation Godzilla Universal Expert Robot Aerotype, or Moguera, was created. Incorporating lessons from Super MechaGodzilla, Moguera was able to split into two separate vehicles, Land Moguera and Star Falcon. Its first use in combat was not against Godzilla, but instead Space Godzilla, a cosmic monster formed when Godzilla's cells somehow were absorbed into a black hole. After being decisively defeated in a battle fought across the asteroid belt, G-Force and Moguera entered into a rare alliance with Godzilla. In the ensuing battle, Space Godzilla would be destroyed by Godzilla's spiral heat ray, but Moguera and the city of Fukuoka would be destroyed in the process. Godzilla's rapidly escalating power led G-Force to discover that the monster's heart would soon melt down, creating a potentially apocalyptic explosion. Without the means to create another anti-Godzilla superweapon, G-Force instead returned to the Super X program. The emergence of Destroyer, a microscopic organism mutated by the effects of the oxygen destroyer used to kill the original Godzilla in 1954, heightened the danger exponentially. While Godzilla was able to defeat Destroyer, the energy he radiated during the course of the battle would leave much of Japan uninhabitable. Together with the JSDF, the Super X-3 was able to freeze Godzilla and prevent the worst effects of his meltdown. G-Force had finally succeeded in their mission, but the death of their primary foe was seen by many as something of a tragedy. Remarkably, the intense radiation left in his wake was absorbed by Godzilla's offspring, believed to have been previously killed by Destroyer. This rapid transfer of energy not only revitalized this new Godzilla, but mutated it to maturity. Despite their victory, the mission of G-Force would continue. Since the emergence of giant monsters across the world, humanity has sought to control them or destroy them. An organization like G-Force was the natural result of this obsession. But in studying Godzilla came a sort of understanding. More than any other monster ever to rise from atomic power, Godzilla was a victim of the nuclear age. Indestructible and destined to walk the Earth forever in one form or another.
The Templin Institute investigates the nations, factions, and organizations of alternate worlds. If you've enjoyed this video and would like to join the Templin Institute, consider pledging to our Patreon page. Along with increased security access, you'll be able to vote in polls to determine future topics, get custom wallpaper every week, and receive some other exclusive rewards.